right, awesome. It's so good to see everybody in person. Can everybody on the Zooms hear us? I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. We'll go with a yes. If you can't hear us, just let us know. I saw Matt on there. He might be able to tell us.
Hey, we can hear you.
Matt, give us a thumbs up.
Yay.
This is amazing. Off without a glitch today. Fantastic. Well, for now, it's 12.
Okay, let's not be negative. We're doing
All
good.
right, so we start the same way every time. Our Market Center vision's up on the board. As usual, we believe in creating an authentic environment built on the foundation of productivity and collaboration. It inspires our people to achieve their business goals, design their legacy worth leaving. And it's super exciting. Some of the things we're going to talk about today, again, more evidence toward this continuing to come true. So we're super excited for some of the things that we're going to talk about today, some of the growth numbers. We've got a great, thank you so much. This is cool. We've got great announcements about who that amazing person is, Laura, and our new additions to the team, as well as some new additions to the KW family. So we're really pumped. But without further ado, we can't do any of this without great partners like Karen with Ace. So come on up, you gotta speak with this thing.
Sure, everybody can pass this around. I'm gonna do a drawing for a $25 gift card. So if you've got a business card, make sure you put it in. And we also have.
So everybody can get you on the Zooms too,
I'm
and the
big
Facebooks
now.
and everything.
Okay. So anyway, we're going, even the people on Zoom, if you will email me at ace@att.net with your name and your email address, I'll include you in the $250 drawing. Those presents will be the ones for the $25 gift card. Most of y'all know me. I've been with Jeff for 13 years. We have 11 inspectors, so we can and we've got engineer, and now we're doing a lot of commercial. Some of the things that makes us different. Right now, I'm running a promotion, and there's a card back there to explain it more. But we decided that it would be a good idea and probably helpful to the buyers and to the agents if often when you order the complete home inspection, you can't order the CL 100 because you don't know if the 30 days is going to expire. Now we are offering that we'll do the CL 100 at the same time as the complete home inspection, and we'll give the client one free visit if it expires to go back and renew the CL 100. That way you know what's going on up front and don't have to wait to the end to find out of CL 100 surprise. The other thing that we offer that's a little bit different is buyer protection plan. Let's say something happens and they don't want this house due to some kind of problems that were found during the inspection. On their next home, it's called buyer protection. They'll get $75 off their next inspection. It's called our buyer protection plan. We also have an engineer on call. If there's a trust, you know how buyers are. Once they see at the end of the sentence, consultant engineer, they go, oh my gosh, and they want to run for the hills. The good thing about us is we've got an engineer on call, Jeff Donaldson, and we're hiring another. And if the inspector takes good pictures and sends the description to us via email and all of the pictures, they'll review it, call your client that night and tell them if it's a real issue or if it's okay. And if we have to go to the site with the engineer, that's billable. But the other is a free engineering consultation, which is huge. They run about $3.75 an hour. So it saves your client a lot of money if a truss had been cut due to a plumbing or something along that line. We're a one-stop shop. We offer CL 100s, as I said, complete home inspections, sewer inspections, dock, swimming pool, elevators, about any inspection you can think of, we now cover. We also have warranties in place, 5-year roof warranty. We've got the 90-day warranty. If we miss something during the inspection or it broke after the fact, let's say the dishwasher, we ran it through the full cycle and it ran fine, but you go in and it's broken. That always disheartens the buyer in that first 90 days. We do have warranty coverage for those type of things. We can pretty much, right now, we're about 3 days out. It's been a crazy, crazy market. We also do, for some of you, that price point has been a problem in the past. We will now price match. If you have it from a competitor and they don't have an availability, I'll match their price as well. You get your report, we come out, you get your report by email by 8 o'clock the next morning. We also have something that we think saves the agent some time. It's called you can do your repair addendum right from the report. Just click it and it'll go to your repair addendum. We also have another thing, and your client may say, well, how much is it going to cost me to fix this repair? How much is this? And it can take you a lot of time to call different contractors to find that out. You don't have to do that if your client chooses. We have the repair estimate report. They can order that for $80 and it will be back within 48 hours and it's itemized from Torch. It's a third-party service, nothing to do with us. It's sort of, I think you've seen other companies out there that also will prepare an estimate and then they're getting the job. This is not affiliated with a particular company. They have gone to all the companies here locally, gotten the prices of what certain things are, and that is given to your client, like I said, within 48 hours. You can get a rush for 24-hour return, but that's an additional 40. That's about it for me. Do y'all have any questions? I'd love to have your business. I know some of you, when you get married to an inspector, you're pretty much married to him until he kills the deal, and then you'll call me. But with the market like it is, how about keeping us at least second on your list? Or if you're a regular guy, I don't want, there's a lot of great inspectors out there. I think that our extras are the UPSs that I just described that some don't have. They have a lesser price, but unless it's drastically different that I'm 450 and they're 375, I can match that all day long.
Awesome.
And that's it for me.
Well, thank
Well,
you so
thank
much.
you.
All right. Do we have enough cards to draw yet?
Yes.
Gary was the,
Did y'all want to drop one?
I'll drop one later.
Oh, all right, there you go.
All righty. I have nothing to do with who wins here. Andrew.
woo-hoo!
Yep.
Thank you.
There we go.
Y'all have a
Awesome.
great day. I'm gonna
Thank you.
leave the food in case anybody didn't get to eat. I'll come back later.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Y'all have a great day and welcome to Chucktown.
Oh, yeah. Spoiled the surprise.
Wow.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
I never did with the secret.
That's awesome. So we start every month, I think, fill in the buckets. Tell me something good. One of the core values of our culture is collaboration and helping, right? And one of the coolest things for me to see is walking into the training room and seeing somebody like Stella help somebody write a contract, a newer agent, right? Or seeing just the collaboration that happens in these walls. And it's such a fun thing to see because it's part of our vision statement, right? So let's take a couple of minutes and just share a couple of things that are good, fill somebody's bucket, or some gratitude.
Mike,
What?
Mike.
Mike. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to give this. My name is Vince. Thank you. Who's got one? Give me three.
I'll give you one. Okay, so I met with a bunch of folks from different KW offices on Tuesday, and I'd like to thank Victoria specifically up in Key for helping me come up with a strategy for handling some clients who tend to email every single 5 seconds. And she had a really good strategy for managing the change orders and things that they had in the new construction build. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Victoria. Who else?
I'll go, but I'm gonna run something for a later introduction. We'll talk about it later in this, but I'm really excited to have someone new in our office. She knows who she is, and we'll introduce her in a little bit. So
Love it.
super excited to have her.
Yes.
I know.
The suspense is killing me. She's amazing. Thank you, Laura. Give me one more.
Anybody on Zoom? Say
Anybody on Zoom?
it.
Yeah, let's hear it. I know gratitude is so hard to come by.
When I did floor duty from 9 to 5, one of those days last week, she came and checked on me and relieved me if I had to go to the restroom and offered me some food, and so I thank you so much for that.
Give her a hand. Let's give everybody a hand. All righty. So,
Gonna pull up, sorry.
oh, I got these cool slides
Here you
in
go.
front of me now. So this is awesome. One of the things we talk about is growth. And here's our production. This is month to date is on the left for June. These are the individuals. I see number 1 sitting right here for the month of June. Christina
Woo-hoo!
Green. So a huge congratulations.
I thought that's
That's-
the brain surgery.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's not forget.
Just leave that part out.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, yeah, okay, Mom.
She had brain surgery capped and number 1.
Yeah, I think in 8 months,
It's fine.
was it 8 months or something like that? In your first 8 months of real estate capped, and more than $2.5 million in production. So a huge. Now, Stella, Jay, Michael, Amy, Tony, Shenandoah, Allison, and Tara all having an epic June. A huge congratulations to those individuals. Let's give them a hand. And then year to date, Josh Stamps leading the pack, 5.4, very close to or on track for his goal of 36 units, which is awesome. Congratulations, Josh, right on track. Michael Prince, Amy, Trenton, Stella, Kaylin, Tara, Ayana, Lexi, and Christina. In our top 10, a huge congratulations to them. All the individuals. Such a fun thing to see. Our top teams, this might change in the month of July, just so everybody knows. But our top teams, Ronnie leading the pack in June, month to date. Again, those are month to date, just June numbers. So Ronnie, good old Salt Marsh Properties, Synergy Group, Location Group, Kyle and Al, the Herb Group of Charleston, Bastion Associates, Coastal Edge, Charleston Diggs, Noble Group, and Flanagan Home. Flanagan. I always call him Flanny. I don't know what to say.
Flanny.
I know he's back there. I saw him on the Zoom.
Good old.
So a huge congratulations to them for the month of June. That's some serious production. And year to date, we got a lot. Well, he might be number 2 next month, but Charleston Diggs crushing it this year. A big jump for him. I talked to John the other day. He's excited about a lot of the things that they're building over there in that corner. But Charleston Diggs, Explore Charleston, Scott Baskin and team back in the KW family. A huge welcome back. And I heard him back there. Yeah, we keep him over there.
Welcome back.
Synergy Group, Ronnie and team up north, Bastion Associates, Infinity Group, Location Group, Hamilton K and Co, her group, and Fanny Home Team. So huge congratulations. Another awesome production. June listings taken. Man, Drew and John Joe taking 11 listings in the month of June. We're gonna talk a little bit about real quick our listings taken number, but awesome statistic here for Synergy Group. Ronnie, Stella, and Coastal Edge, 11, 4, 4, and 3. Congratulations to these individuals. June listings sold. I like the listings sold. Trad and team leading the charge with 5. SC Real Estate Chick, Ronnie and team, Synergy Group, Coastal Edge, Location Group, Stella, and Amy. Another huge congratulations. Drive the business, right? Page 102 of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. Go check it out. Listings drive the business. We have to keep on taking market share. What's next? Oh, I'm supposed to be turning this too.
Keep just focus.
This is great.
Now we have to do this
Just
for him?
talk, man. June closed units, a huge congratulations to all of these individuals. I'm not gonna read them again, but we can see them. They crushed it. A huge congratulations to the Drew and team, lead the charge 9. It's awesome. They're having one heck of a year. And congratulations to all these individuals for closed units in June. And profit share, passive income. Go and get your unfair share of profit share. What's awesome is Renee is leading the charge, $4,100 of passive income just year to date, right? On the 21st of the month, every month, which was yesterday. Was it? 21st of the month, which was yesterday. Profit share is directly deposited into your account. You name a sponsor, that individual that's most influential in you joining KW and the KW family. They close deals. 48% of the profits that are generated at the local level are shared back to the agents that generated that profit, right? That helped generate that profit. What's amazing is this is a great way to teach our agent base how to truly build wealth. There's not a lot of other ways to build passive income without putting capital at risk and without taking risk. In this particular situation, you have to do none of those things, no capital out and no risk. You just have to talk about, well, maybe KW could be a place for you, and go talk to Winnie or Vince. So congratulations to these individuals. They are leading the charge. Top 10, Renee, Jeanette, Nancy, Shenandoah, Maggie, Trenton, Ronnie, Joseph, Vince, and Denise. Vinny Bag of Donuts. Number 9. I love seeing me. I love watching me fall down this list. Means that this place is getting built on the shoulders of this amazing agent base, not on the shoulders of me talking. And that is what's truly representative of the culture and the vision that we've talked about so much. So I'm really excited about this list. It's only growing. By the way, we have shared more profit just so far this year than we have last year, period. That's awesome. That's a really exciting thing, and a lot more to come. Cappers. I love when people cap. Flanagan, he's back there. Hey! Flanagan capped. A huge congratulations to him, Ronnie, Christina, and Joseph and Lynn. Let's give them a hand. Boy, 100% of your commissions. First closings, look at this. 6 individuals having their first closings here with the KW family. Johnny, Lissandro, Paul, Sabrina, Delisha, and Gary. A huge congratulations. So cute. I have to start having multiple slides for some of these things.
I
A
know,
lot more people on here. It's awesome. And a huge welcome to the family.
not yet, but,
Not yet.
well, oh, yeah,
Oh,
well, yeah.
Never mind, get out of here.
I just meant, this isn't when they're coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to them later, but a huge congratulations to Chucktown and welcome to the family. Chucktown
Awesome.
Homes powered by KW. So you saw on the last slide, all of the amazing individuals on the Chucktown team, and in the Chucktown powered by KW family. And there wasn't enough room to write them all up there. So make sure to reach out to them, welcome them like family, welcome them to KW. We're gonna hear from them shortly. John, Marianne, Eric, Liz, Tim, Marcus, Brandon, Eleanor, Scott, Mia, Adam, and Camilla. A huge welcome to the family. That's a lot of people. That's exciting.
Tim?
Growing like crazy. And a welcome to the family. If you see him around, hey, Tim. If you see him around, if you see him on the Zooms, give him a great KW welcome. We're happy to be in business with him in Humboldt, truly. A big happy birthday to these individuals. I'm not singing. And hope you have the best birthday ever. Let's give him a hand.
You spelled my last name wrong.
Years.
Patrick said, you spelled my name wrong.
Whoops.
Well, you got
All right.
Yeah. I'm glad you're paying attention. Yeah. Happy birthday, by the way. Oh, wow. Look at this guy.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Hey.
Did you get a haircut, Vince? You look good.
Oh, thanks. I did. Got my ears lowered or whatever.
Sean, if you could scoot over a little bit more, I'd love to see your face as well.
Who?
Where's
There's
Billy?
Sean.
Right there in front of you.
You're looking
Right
for
there.
Jeremy.
Oh, gotcha. No worries. Well, hey guys, I'm gonna just give you an update on a few quick things right now. So it's the end of the month in our business. We've been pretty busy, historically speaking, for the last 2 years, but we've seen a pretty big pickup in pre-approvals in the last couple of weeks. And one thing that we're really having a difficult time with is closing disclosures with our partners. So I don't know if you guys have experienced kind of the same pain points, but we're not typically seeing an approved closing disclosure until the day of or the day before. So please try to set that expectation with your clients that, hey, we might have to give you a worst case figure to wire to the law office beforehand. So is anyone working with an attorney right now that doesn't have that problem?
Y'all can answer.
No.
I know.
There's a lot of chuckles in here, so I'm going to assume they're all.
I was gonna say, can we get a group together that can find someone who can? It's a pain point, and beyond that, I just say we're getting a lot of rescue loan phone calls right now. We're happy to help. They generally take about 8 to 10 business days from start to finish to close. So if you have a deal that fell apart, please note, we're a resource. We're happy to help. So if something sounds funny with another lender, give us a call and we'll see what we can do. Obviously the most common is appraisals. From an appraisal standpoint with FHA, we can't help you. FHA appraisals are tied to the property for 6 months. We're conventional, it's fair game. So if you have a buyer with a conventional loan that has some issues, just let us know and we'll give that a shot. Otherwise, VA loans, they're tied to the veteran, they're not tied to the property. So that's another out as well. But just a heads up there. And then, beyond that, Vince, just a quick product update. We rolled out a medical professional loan. And I'm not going to get into the minutia of like the guidelines on it, but we do 100% financing up to a loan amount of $750,000. And under those guidelines, let me tell you who the qualified professionals are. So it's pretty well, it's medical doctors, it's dentists, it's chiropractors, medical residents, veterinarians. So it's a pretty cool program. If they've got a 740 credit score, again, they can do 100% financing up to $750,000 loan amount. So, it's just another tool for your clients. And that's really all I want to hit on.
What did you say the qualification from a credit score was?
740 for the 100%. If 700 credit score will require 3% down payment. So it's about the most favorable guideline I've found out there as far as a doctor loan goes. And then we've also rolled out some different in-house products. So we've got a couple different bank statement programs that don't have their traditional horrible interest rates that some of the other folks are getting for those programs. So, right now we're trying to come out with as many options as we can to help folks get in homes. And just remember, if you send someone to us that doesn't fit our box, that referral doesn't end with us. I mean, we're going to figure out who the best lender is for them and hand them off, even if that means we lose the business.
Love it. Awesome. Any questions for Matt? Awesome. We appreciate you, Matt.
Yeah, thanks for having
You're
me.
the best. See you. So also a huge thank you to Movement Mortgage and Annabelle. He's out here. We keep him in this closet over here. So also stop by, say hello, have a coffee. So we appreciate all of our amazing partners. With that said, we're going to keep on rocking. A huge welcome to Laura Drodes. Laura is our new director of First Impression. She's a, come on in here.
She's like, no.
She's a rock star. She's a, here's Laura. There you go. Here's Laura. She's awesome. She's our director of First Impression, and she is going to be responsible for agent experience, really, and marketing. So she's going to be doing a lot from a storytelling perspective. She's going to be doing a lot, sit up at the front desk, being a liaison, just like Kristen has for years, being the liaison between your problem and the solution, right here within the KW infrastructure. So we're so excited to have Laura. Let's give her a hand. So with that said, by fielding, we fielded a great leadership team, and I want to give a little clarity. Next page. I want to give a little clarity to who are all these people and what in the world do they do? Because sometimes I don't know, and I sure don't know what I do.
Isn't that great?
So we're really all in it, right? Yeah. Thanks. So I wanted to give a little clarity as to what's our organization look like now from a leadership team perspective. about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I guess 2 years ago, back in 2019, when we started this endeavor, this leadership team, it was myself, Joseph, Tiffany, and Kristen. Then we brought on Adrian, right, as our productivity coach. And then we had some changes and all these amazing things as we progressed to today, present day. And we finally finished building out for the foreseeable, not finished, honestly, not finished, even close. But for probably like the next, honestly, like 90 days. We've built ourselves an amazing leadership foundation. And I just wanted to real quick go through what everybody does. So our operating principal and broker in charge, the amazing Joseph Klosik. It was hard. It was really hard. But we love him. So from an operating principal perspective, he's responsible for the great challenge of holding me accountable, right, to hitting and integrating the vision that we talk about so much. He set the vision. He's the voice of the ownership group. From a broker in charge perspective, he's there from a transactional question standpoint, as well as conflict resolution standpoint. We know that he's one of the best in the business at conflict resolution. We appreciate him every day. And he's there to really help in that space. Me, we really don't know what I do. We've been trying to figure that out for years, but really my job and my role is about vision integration. It's about growth. It's about continuing to expand the vision that Joseph and I have constantly talked about, that vision that we talk about every team meeting. I also coach and consult the top 20%, those that have capped, and help lead the leadership team to the integration of that vision. I also work on a lot of other things, I guess. Specifically growth too, because a growing, healthy things grow, right? And that's really important. We saw the new amazing individuals that have come into our company and our KW family this year, right? A lot of people have come into our KW family this year, and they've stayed. And that's a really, really important piece to the puzzle. The healthy things grow, and a rising tide rises all ships, except for the ones with holes in them. And that's why we fielded this amazing leadership team, so that we can continue to fill the holes, right, in our ship as we continue to rise the tide. So then we've got Delisha Dean. Delisha is a director of career development. She's a one-on-one coach that's there to help people hit their goals. It's as simple as that. You're going to hear more from her about the career development program that she's taken over and continued to develop. But this is not just for new agents. This is for agents that may not have hit their goals and that might be at X and they want to get to Y, but they don't know how. Dive into the career development program, dive into Delisha. She's going to drive you to the right resource so that you can have so that you can implement your business plan, right? She's amazing. You've got Tiffany Davis, my right hand for the last 6 years or whatever it's been. She's responsible for the financials, right? She's responsible for the processing, overseeing all the compliance and the operations management. And then you've got Winnie Rogers. She's our director of growth. She is responsible for helping our agent base grow your profit share tree, right? So if you have talked to somebody or you know somebody that might be a fit for the KW family, refer them to and connect them with Winnie. Kristen Cario, we know who she is. She's the fixer. She is the fixer of all
She has
things.
her own slide.
Yeah, exactly. She's our director of agent services. And really what she's kind of moving into is being able to really facilitate great events like this, right? She's going to really market and drive these events, make sure that everybody knows about what's coming up. She's also going to be responsible for the onboarding of new agents and new agents to the KW family. And lastly, your agent support. So if you have questions about the integration of command, you have questions about how do I do this or that, she's also a great person to go and talk to and get the answer. Laura, I mentioned Laura. Laura is our director of first impressions. She's again going to be responsible for agent experience, office experience, and the liaison to the resource that you need to fix your problem. Maybe it's just directing you to one of us. Maybe it's directing you to some infrastructure within KW that can help you. And then lastly, but not least, we got Jay Kennedy, our Market Center tech trainer. He also is going to be working with.
What was that?
Because I was like Market Center, I'm like,
I had to do that because I didn't know what to say. I didn't even know what your title was. So our Market Center Tech Trainer, he's responsible for, again, the integration of Command, and continue to keep us up to date with what's going on. Technology is a huge part of this business. It's a huge part of real estate, and it's changing really fast. So having Kristen, having Jay in that space to help us is really important. Without further ado, the amazing Delisha, let me give you this thing. You can
come on
call-
up.
Come on up. Oh, yeah. They make me do it, so you gotta do it too. Yeah. Or can they, they'll hear you on the Zoom?
Oh, it's for Zoom.
Yeah, you don't have to
Um,
yell.
So again, give us an update about what's CDP, what's career development, and what's been going on lately.
All right, so essentially, the goal of the program is to help you find clarity and get you laser focused on the daily activities that we all know we're supposed to do so that we can then go on to live lives that we want to live. As agents, I know it is super easy to get distracted by the inevitable barrage of false priorities and distractions that hammer us each and every day. So we go from working on our 20% to scrambling, dealing with, low appraisals, inspections, deals falling through. And so then your 20% never gets taken care of. And then 30, 60 days down the road, you're wondering why you have no closings lined up. So through goal setting, time blocking, and accountability, the goal is to stop the overwhelm and procrastination and establish the daily habits to get you productive and working towards your goals. It's very simple and we have a lot of fun.
Love it. Simple,
In a
not easy.
nutshell. Yeah, it's simple, not easy.
Those individuals that have joined the company between January 1st, 2020 and present day, and that have done less than $1 million in production. If you've done more than $1 million in production and want to hear more about CDP, come talk to me or Delisha. Awesome. I love it. Let's welcome them. I'm excited. So Jay is going to give us some updates. And also give us some updates from a tech perspective, if there are any.
Yeah.
So YP and tech.
So she's got it up here, 3 p.m. I think that's next Wednesday, Thursday,
7:27.
Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. The 27th. We're doing a board meeting. We have that monthly. If you guys are interested in learning about leadership within KWYP, please plug into that. We'd love to have you guys come in. We are also very, very, very excited to announce that we started something kind of cool with YP and Mega Camp where we didn't get invited to Mega Camp. So we're like, well, we're gonna go anyway. And there were a group of us that were like, we're gonna go anyway. And so we started creating this plan to be in Austin for YP. And we were just gonna stream everything virtually like everybody else is going to, but we were gonna plan some stuff there in Austin for us to all connect. Well, as of Monday, we are officially invited to Mega Camp. So we have 250 slots for KWYP members to go to Austin to be a part of the official event that's being held this year. So we're super excited about that. So if you're not a KWYP member and would like to be, please let us know. You have an opportunity for the next few days at least to get a Mega Camp ticket and go to Austin for that. And then on the 28th, we have Katie Benson, Director of Growth for Place Inc., which is one of the largest expansion platforms. It's the largest actually expansion platforms within the KW company. They're a special guest that's going to be at our next chapter meeting. Huge opportunity to learn about what they're doing and how they're building out their brand throughout the organization and throughout the United States, quite frankly. What's really cool about Place, you may have heard, and correct me if I'm saying this incorrectly, but the CEO of
the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway
Berkshire
was
Hathaway
hired by Place.
left Berkshire Hathaway to go work for Place, which is an expansion team within KW. So if that doesn't say
Doing more than
about-
5,200 units or something
if
like
that
that.
doesn't say anything about what the expansion opportunity can give you, come pay attention.
I love it.
So that'll be on 8/28. And that's kind of all with KWIP, I think.
Tech
I love it.
updates.
Sure. So one of the things that we've got coming up, and I don't know a whole lot about it just yet, we're going to learn more about it actually this afternoon, is some big changes coming to DocuSign, particularly as it relates to Teams. So hope to give you some more updates on that very soon. We believe that there's a lot of new functionality coming. And like I said, I'll find out later this afternoon, but that's big news for DocuSign. So stay tuned for that. One of the things that I also really want to talk about is, as Joseph or Vince has mentioned, we brought on a lot of new people, a lot of new teams. My focus for the next 30, 60, 90 days is really to get to know you guys. Obviously, we want you guys to implement and use Command, but I also just want to know how you work and run your businesses. So I'll be reaching out over the next few months to try to schedule some one-on-one time, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of coffee, an hour, whatever works for you and your schedule. We really want to understand how you work, how you run your business, what your goals are, and so I can help you understand how to either leverage Command or perhaps some other technology that works well within your business. So that'll be something that we're doing over the next 90 days or so.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Joseph. I
All
even prepared.
All right, this is one of the most exciting pieces to the puzzle, I believe, because what some have seen the opportunity map within KW. And we're really passionate about continuing to create opportunity for individuals within our family. And one of the ways that we're going to do this is the faculty development program, because it's going to help one of the legs or one of the opportunities on this opportunity map come alive within our brokerage.
Right, so basically what this came from was a large push to get back to in-house training, which is we absolutely want to do. And we also want to have some local training because it brings in the local expertise and that sort of thing. So what we decided to do was a good time to launch this faculty development program. And there's kind of 4 key areas that we're focusing on it, and they're on here. We're going to sit, this is a work in progress, as is everything. It's to provide world-class training locally by and for our associates. The big part about that is, for those of you that don't know, Keller Williams Realty International, or Keller Williams University, I should say, has been named the top training company in the country. Company, not real estate company, like company in the country by Training Magazine for I think 5 years in a row. So we want to fill those shoes, right? We want to make sure we're doing that. In addition to that, we want to provide an additional opportunity for you guys as agents and associates to have a training path and a leadership path. There's a couple reasons that this can be beneficial to you. First is you as a receiver of the training locally get better training, which is good. And then second, honestly, the leadership path or the opportunity path involves training in Keller Williams. It just does. And even if you're not looking at leadership, I'll give you one number: $256,000. $256,000 is the exact, well, within a couple thousand. Vince numbers would be 275, but anyway, it's around that 250, 275 number was the GCI that Lynn and I got in a 2-year period, strictly from referrals. And those referrals, I can tell you 95% came from the training that I did, right? So there's a lot of opportunities that come from this. So what we're going to do is we're rolling out kind of a process for you to go through, because then with Keller Williams University, there are 2 stages you go through, which is what we call an approved instructor, and then Keller Williams master faculty. And we just have guidelines there. And it's not to be an elite club or anything like that. It's just to make sure we're providing the level of training that warrants the company being named the #1 training company for 5 years in a row. So be on the lookout for that. We've got some exciting information to come up from it. For those of you that are interested and are involved already with the upcoming training, we are going to be doing in-house Ignite starting in August, which is great. We're going to condense it. It's going to be a short period of time. It is going to be live instructors. We're not doing any part of it via Zoom. The first round will be a smaller group of instructors because we just don't want to throw people to the wolves. And then that's going to kind of be a rollout to this faculty development program. So I think that's about it for me.
Awesome. If you're interested in that, shoot Joseph an email.
Yeah.
And because it's going to be awesome. It's going to be the opportunity. Somebody said to me one time, they said, at first it's about growth and then it's about significance, right? And from a real estate business perspective, you grow, right? You're growing your business, you're making sure your business is sustainable, and then you start giving back, right? And that's when you're on that path, that's where fulfillment happens, right? So we're really excited about this piece.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Awesome. Thanks, Joseph.
All right, real quick, what's coming up today and tomorrow? Couple classes, Scott Leroy classes. If I always say it, if you haven't been to them, they are awesome. Learning Command. I watch them sometimes when I need a refresher. So really good there. Ask Me Anything, Delisha, 1:30. Yes, it is. If you didn't hear that, she said, ask anything within reason. Tomorrow is another Ignite class and then another Scott Leroy class. We will be, Joseph touched on it. We're starting that August 9th. We'll have a graphic soon coming with more details, but this will be Ignite in person. August training calendar for CES, some of the big classes, Win with Buyers, hands-on tech, customer experience, profitability, agent financials. I'm sure Vince wants to touch on this one briefly.
Agent financials, I mean, the minimum profit potential of a real estate business is what?
Profit.
What's the percentage? 40% based on the budget model, right? The minimum profit potential of a real estate business is 40%. As an individual agent, you're probably running close to 60, 70, maybe even 80%, right? Learn how to get that even more. Learn to be, and John Prescott's probably one of the best instructors, no offense, Joseph, one of the best instructors in this company. Of course you did. So go to that. That's going to be amazing.
Awesome. We have Mega Camp coming up. I have sent out an email. We will be sending this out continuously. But there's a option to do digital version. And we're also going to be going regionally to Charlotte. So I know some people are going to Mega Camp in Austin, but this is another way if you're looking to get connected and network with people. Charlotte's going to be an awesome way to do it. I know some of the leadership, sorry, Tiffany is going to be out. The leadership will be up in Charlotte for the night before and then night of. So come mastermind. There's gonna be live panels, more information to come on that. But check your emails because even if you've never been to a regional event, join in on this. This is a great way, great opportunity to meet other people in the Carolinas.
And create referral partners.
It's
I was
not
gonna say-
just Charlotte, it's like.
I was gonna
it's
say-
in
Yes.
Charlotte that people are coming from.
There's 44 market centers across North and South Carolina, so there's a huge opportunity for you to meet and network with other people there.
Awesome. So last 3 slides before we bring up our amazing stars of the show. But I wanted to touch on these year-to-date numbers real quick. Year-to-date, our market center, so you, right, the agent base, is up 279, or is up 120.3%, 120.3% year over year. What does that mean? This year, for every 10 homes we sold last year, we sold 12 more this year. That's awesome. And it's 27.9 or 279% more. Yeah, I mean, all these numbers, I'm terrible at doing. Yeah. Wait a second, let's start over. Thanks for the support. You guys are great.
I already changed this. Here.
So, 280% better than the MLS. 280% better than, like 300% better than the MLS. For the love of Pete, right? We just got a dog, by the way, and his name is Petey. And it is, I've been saying for the love of Pete constantly, for the love of Pete.
You always have.
But
For
I
the
always
love
have,
of-
but now it's really funny because the little dog's sitting there. you
For
know,
the
it's
love of
actually-
Petey.
So, this is great. Drinking his water, eating his pizza.
All right,
Next.
all right.
Contracts accepted, 97.2% increase year over year. We've doubled the amount of contracts we've gotten accepted year over year. That's a big deal. From a multiple offer standpoint, I hear there's a lot of them, right? When you work with KW, 381% better or higher than the MLS. That's an impressive statistic that you could add to your listing presentation. And we're going to do more of these kind of conversations in different trainings that you're going to see hosted by our amazing faculty. Next, listings taken. We talked about listings taken, page 102 of the MREA, 40% increase year over year. For every 10 listings we took last year, we've taken 4 more this year, right? That's amazing. Listings drive the market. 804% better than the MLS. That's not bad. This is my favorite, GCI, gross commission income. This is how much everybody's making, right? 78.4% month to date in the month of June increase, 150% more money this year, year to date, than last year. That's exciting. Let's give it a hand. all of this will be in the, come on up, boys. All of this will be, all of this will be in the recap email, so you'll be able to get those slides.
He just called y'all boys.
I know.
Coming up, boys.
Better than ladies. All right, you guys can share this. So I am so excited. You stand over there. I am so excited to welcome to the KW family, as well as to our team meeting, the Chucktown Homes team. Chucktown Homes powered by KW, Jeremy Wilson and Sean Pillion. We are so excited to be in business with you. But what we wanted to do is we just wanted to take 15 minutes here and hear more about them and how they've built, what they've built. I mean, you're on track for what this year, 170 million?
170, yeah, 170, 180.
Good. It's just a cool 170, 180 million. And how many units?
About 500.
About 500. So what we wanted to do is, one, we wanted to just take a little bit of time to learn how they've done that over the last 10 years or so. 16, excuse me.
10 years away from KW.
Away from KW. So what they've done over the last couple of years, and then hear more about what you're building, and then take some advice from you. So tell us, how have you built that? How have you gone from 0 to 170 billion?
Sure. Firstly, we just want to say how humbled we are to be here. Everybody's been super nice to us. We've traveled to some market centers. And thanks to Vince and Joseph for their leadership, showing us the value at KW and bringing us back. I don't think 2 years ago we ever would have thought that we would be standing here.
Yeah.
So.
I think you said that actually. It wasn't a doubt.
Several times. So thank you so much. We're happy to be here. It's a different environment for us. So thanks a lot. You know, I guess if you go back 16 years ago, you know, we did everything that anybody that's brand new in this building did, you know, knocked on doors. All three of us together at certain times, you know, cold called people, prospected for hours every day. Got excited when we got one listing or one buyer sale, and we had plenty of months where all three went down to the bank and put money back into the bank and didn't get money out. So we kind of just decided that we were going to lead with profits and grow with the speed of cash, and just went real slow. And then, you know, one day we just got too busy and needed to bring on a buyer's agent, and the team was born. So right now we have 16 buyer's agents, 4 listing agents, and Jeremy and I are at the point now where we're out of production. So I don't know if there's any secret sauce to doing it, just taking care of people, sitting at people's kitchen tables, kneecap to kneecap, and be real honest with them, and, you know, not worrying about the deals and the profit and the commission, but worrying about the relationships. And there always seems to be a pile of cash at the end of the month.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's not a lot of special things that we do. I mean, the snowball grows over time, you know, if you just do what you're supposed to do and answer the phone, I mean, the business comes, you know, continues to come back. So just keep doing what you're doing.
We believe in leads. Leads really drive our business. You know, I know even 10 years ago, people told us we were dumb to work with Zillow and buy leads and how expensive they are. And they are expensive. It cuts into your profit. But, you know, we've always said that we'll buy them once and then never more. They're going to be our clients after that. We're going to take care of them. Last year, I think best clients were 45% of what we did. And, you know, Zillow was 25%, and a bunch of other lead sources that are admittedly are expensive. But we always believe in that. Unfortunately, the real estate industry is changing. It's still changing. And the internet is where everything's at, right? Few people call us now and say, hey, I want to know about buyer agency and I need an agent. How do I get pre-qualified? Most of the calls now are, we want to see a house, you know? So.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, we're a real systems oriented team. We have a lot of systems in place as far as prospecting and contract closing and all that stuff is all systemized at this point. And, you know, a lot of that stuff has just been done the last couple of years because, you know, Sean and I, for years, we were hustling a lot of homes. You know, the last year I was in production was 2019. I think I closed 70 listings. So, you know, that's a lot of work. And then you've got your buyer's agents coming in the office asking questions while you're trying to talk to sellers on the phone. So, you know, really all that improvement in systems and everything has been done the last couple of years. So things are a lot smoother now than they did a couple of years ago.
Yep. One of the things, there was a lot of good nuggets there, by the way. One of the things they said, Sean said, he said, we wanted to lead with profit, and we determined that we wanted to grow with the speed of cash, right? They led with revenue. One of the things in that book, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, and there's an agent financials class coming up, right? But they talk about leading with revenue. And it sounds like that's what you guys determined was gonna be an indicator for you. You said, okay, we're gonna lead with profit and we're gonna grow with the speed of cash, and we're gonna do the activities until we don't have to, and we can just farm them out.
Yeah, and we naively left KW thinking that we would save a bunch of, and to KW's credit, it's a different business model than it was years ago when we were here. KW has obviously changed with the times and listened to what agents want. But when we left KW, we naively thought that we'd open our own brokerage and save a bunch of money. You know, that was just not the case. There's a lot of cost that goes into that, a ton of costs. And, you know, when we jumped out and did it, we weren't even really ready for it. So it's always been very important to us to have, you know, enough money in the bank to cover the expenses. And, you know, as you grow, things cost money. They really do. So it's always been very important to us to, you know, make sure there's enough there, kind of grow slowly and pull the profits out when you can, but not too early.
Love that. So what would you guys say has been most important to your success over the last 16 years?
So I think, and Jeremy will have a different answer, but I think really it's the people. For us, we knew at a certain point we got too big and too busy to do this on our own. And I wish I was an octopus and I could take care of all the buyers, but I can't. We need people to rely on. So we learned a lot over the years and made a lot of mistakes hiring the wrong people. So I think from a team aspect, if you grow a team, you just have to be in business with the right people. They have to line up, they have to be good folks, and everybody's got a different motivation for being on a team. So I would say that's the most important thing, is finding those agents that can represent you well and can do things as well as you want to do.
Yeah, that, I mean, we've got, you know, our lead admin has been with us since we've been at KW. She was with us at KW, actually. She's still with us. And then we've got agents that have been with us for 10, 12, 13 years. So the team is super important.
I mean, that's a testament to what you guys are building.
Right.
You know, stick around.
Well, you know, unfortunately, a lot of teams out there, you know, they start with a number in mind and then reverse engineer it. You know, we're not super smart, so we got too busy one day and we really needed help. You know, but along the way, we discovered that, you know, if you're going to run a team, you have to provide that value to them. It's not about putting your hands in their pockets and you know, trying to figure out another fee to add on, another way to make money. You know, it's really adding value to them, and they'll do a great job and give back to you. So
Yeah, and just a lot of hard work. I mean, there were nights, honestly, at the old Keller Williams office years ago where I spent the night in the office. I mean, I slept for a couple hours and go right back to work the next morning. So we did that for a long time.
That feast or famine mentality is scary when you're an agent. We know what it's like.
Yeah.
Love that. So if you were to give 3 pieces of advice to any agent, it doesn't have to be a new agent or a seasoned agent, but any agent, as they build this business, especially in this environment, what would that advice be?
I would say, if you have the money, don't be afraid to buy internet leads and put yourself out there. But at the same time, remember that this is a people business, not a technology business. It's all about the relationships and the people. Selling houses is the easy part, but getting the relationships with people is the hardest part. So just work on that. And I would say, you know, be crazy with your follow-up. You know, just make sure you're really following up with people and keeping your promises.
Yeah, and then the foundation, you know, making sure you're set up, organized, and, you know, you call him the operations systems guy, but that's so important. Make sure your database is super clean and organized. Make sure you got everything in place, and just think of, you know, how it's going to be 5 years from now. You know, you don't want to start with an organized database where you don't know who you're calling and when you're calling them. And then, you know, you get busier and it's just a complete mess and you're forgetting to call people back. So
we used to have days where we'd have pizza parties and get all the agents to come in and make 200, 300 calls because we were so far behind. You know, using really silly technologies like Top Producer, and it's just, you know, it'll manage you and then you don't have time to do things that are important. So.
And we've never believed in a lot of admin. I know there's a lot of teams we've talked to over the years that are real admin heavy. They almost have more admin than they have agents on their team. And really up until 2 years ago, when we came out of production, we had 2 or 3 admin for the whole entire team. And back then the team was about a dozen. So, you know, not very admin heavy. You know, it's all about just making sure things are organized, that agents know exactly what to do, you know, train them all the same way.
Yeah, and a lot of people disagree with us and they still perform at a really high level, but we think the handoff is weird from an ISA to an agent, back to an admin to a, you know, we'd rather the talent being there, building that relationship. And we think, you know, that's important. And it puts a little bit more on the agent, but we try to support them where we can.
You mentioned that you weren't super admin heavy. You only had 2 or 3 admins at the time. But wouldn't you say, and correct me if I'm wrong, wouldn't you say your admins were really good at what they do?
You're wrong. No, just I don't. I just wanted the chance to say that. Just wanted the chance to say that.
Welcome to KW.
I mean, obviously, it's all about managing them. The culture is super important. We're definitely office guys. We got to be in there with our staff and finding the right people. A lesson that we learned that probably took us too long to learn is, you know, you're looking for an admin. What do? You put an ad up online, right? And by tomorrow, I'll get 100 applications. 88 of them have college degrees, right? And they're 22. They have no idea what they're going to do, but they're college educated and they're smart. And unfortunately, those people, they usually end up growing out of, you know, the position that you have for them, because let's be honest, you know, you're not going to pay them $80,000 a year, right? So what we learned, it took us a while to learn, but the older folks, the people that this isn't their first career, it's their twilight career, and they have a ton of experience in life. They can make a lot of common sense decisions without asking you, and they're smart. They have degrees, they've done stuff, but they're not looking for that, you know, that next step. You know, this is kind of that they want to put it on cruise control and still get out of the house. We have a courier that works for us 3 days a week, and he retired from I think 30-year career at Caterpillar. He's a genius.
He's a whole lot smarter
Yep.
than us.
His wife just gets him out of the house 3 days a week, you know, really. So, you know, that's kind of one thing we learned with staff and admins, and it helps, you know, with those people because they are smart and they can do stuff. Yep. And you know, a long time ago, we foolishly believed nobody could do anything as good as us. That's wrong. There's people way more talented. So you got to trust them and put them in the roles to make those decisions on their own.
A lot of good nuggets here. I'm Yeah, absolutely.
And we've always said to anybody that we're an open book. There's really, I mean, you know, we might do some things that we think are smart or slick, but there's no secrets to this. You know, this is dressed in overalls and it's hard. So if anybody ever wants to stop by our office, we'll show you what we do. You know, we always have. Not that we're, you know, the #1 guys on the planet, but we'll show you what we do. You guys can replicate it. Most people don't do it because it's just a lot of work, you know, it really is. There's no shortcuts to it, but if you guys want to see our systems and how we set it up and how the tech is set up and how it flows, if anybody's running a team or how to get that started, be happy to show you.
You mentioned that you had 45% of your business last year was
That's
repeat
fine.
clients, and then 25% was Zillow. What are some of your other like sources of leads?
Everything. Dave Ramsey, Realtor.com, stuff from some builders. There's probably 15 other referral sources, you know, websites that are out there, that kind of stuff.
Would you agree that not having a singular source of leads is very important?
So important.
Sure, yeah. And as Zillow grows, you know, Zillow's pulling out of the market-based pricing game and going to a different model. It's exciting, but at the same time, it's scary, right? You know, everybody saw them join the MLS and, you know, they're a brokerage now. What's going to happen? You know, I'm happy to be on board with them, but of course, you have to protect yourself with other sources. And you know, really, we look at Zillow and those expensive realtor.com, things like that as, you know, a way that we're going to meet somebody, but then after that, we're going to keep in touch with them. We're going to take care of them. Hopefully we'll have that relationship. We won't have to buy the same lead
Like your
again.
dating app.
Yeah, exactly. Swipe left. You're mine now.
To Sean's point about the buying internet leads or spending money, just make sure you track all that stuff, because we did that for years. We made a lot of bad mistakes. You know, there was one company that we signed up for several years ago that I think we spent like $25,000 in the first 3 months, and I don't think we converted one single lead off of it. So
Marketing's a black hole of dollars.
yeah. You know, you're getting those calls all week long. You know, the best lead source ever. Just, you know, don't sign long-term contracts. Track every single lead you get every time you close one, and, you know, just make sure you're making money on it. And we've done that for years now.
I remember, and Jeremy's the ops guy. He keeps all the spreadsheets and stuff from and tracks all that. And Don, our other partner that's not here, him and I were at the Realtor conference in Orlando a couple of years ago, which is awesome. It's a lot of fun, right? And we're walking around, and the biggest display there was Homes.com. They had couches set up. They had like Vince from ShamWow, you know, that guy talking. Like, I was captivated. We stayed there, and we called, you know, Jeremy, who wasn't on the trip with us, like, dude, this Homes.com thing is awesome. We're doing business with them. And Jeremy said, yep, I've tracked it for 3 years. It's junk. It's the worst lead source out there. You know, so, you know, these sales guys from these companies will sell you stuff and promise you big stuff. And so tracking is important.
Would you be willing to teach a class on how to track all that stuff?
Sure.
I gotta be a part of the faculty.
We're gonna sign you up.
Yeah. I'm running into the door for that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, but
Still.
I'm just saying, now that you've stepped out of production, you can just become.
Oh, yeah. I have nothing else to do.
It helps.
I don't have the office at 5 o'clock.
Agents will walk in my office. I'm just too busy on the keyboard doing my own deals to really look up and help them. And we knew we had some systems that were a little broken and needed to be polished, and, you know, now we have time to do that. Time to get on these calls with these salespeople and figure out if it's junk, if we can implement it. It takes a lot of energy to do that stuff. So, but going out of production is scary too, right?
Yeah, I can't.
Because
You gotta allow somebody else to
change yourself from a real estate agent. It's what I do. I sell houses to become somebody that manages the database and runs a team full time. It's scary and it hits your income a little bit too. But at a certain point, you have to do that. So.
Joseph, you-
What I was gonna make, I think Sean made a really, really good point is if you're gonna buy them, yes, systems, everything, but the keyword phrase to use is follow up. Right? Because so many times, and I'm sure, you know, you guys do, you pay all this money, you don't have a follow up, it's flush of money.
Yep.
You can't.
Especially with a team, Joseph, you know, if they're not following up, lots of times they're not the ones paying for it, you know? And as a buyer's agent, I will crucify you if you don't take the lead. If you don't want to follow up, just don't. Yeah, it's not, you don't have to take it, you know, it's there if you want it. Yeah, you've got to follow up. Yep. And we use, you know, we've gotten better, to Jeremy's credit. We use an automated follow-up system now called Call Action that texts people. Apparently that's how consumers want to be talked to these days. And it will follow up with them for us. And it's pretty aggressive, more aggressive than agents want to be, but it pulls those people that are, you know, if you convert at 10%, 9 out of 10 people, they're not going to call you back. So it pulls those people out and separates them and lets the agents move on to, you know, where their talent really lies, being in front of people rather than calling everybody. So that helps too.
And one of the things you're saying is that they were massively committed to the lead gen portion of the business, right? So very committed to the lead gen portion, but then even more committed to making sure that they only spent money on that particular lead one time by creating the consumer experience that was unmatched. So can you talk real quick to just the idea of creating a client that never wants to go anywhere else?
Yeah, so, you know, that's tough, especially in the internet age. We have a big market share with a lot of referral companies, and it's almost comical because sometimes, you know, I'll be working with a buyer and, you know, whatever, it doesn't go right for some reason. And then 2 weeks later, they'll come in a different lead source, you know, I'll call them, I was like, it's me again. Just tell me. You know, people have a short attention span on the internet, right? So, you know, when you get them, you got to just make that relationship and let them know I have the key to every house in town. You know, hook them up on, you know, whatever is going to be native to you, be that the MLS search or your website, try to get them there, right? So they're not everywhere. You know, one of the nice things that Zillow does with our relationship is, you know, when somebody connects with us, Zillow will lock them up for a year. So every time they go on Zillow, they're only going to see me and not the other agents. But it's a tough thing to do because there's marketing everywhere, right? There's billboards on the side of the road. You know, there's agents are everywhere, especially in this environment. Not Pleasant. Every other house has an agent living in it, really. So it's tough to do. And I don't know there's a golden bullet for that. But it's really, you know, getting a hold of them, talking to them, and just building that relationship, and then 100% following up with them, you know, texting them, calling them, you know, staying on top of them. And there is such a thing as too many leads or having too many people to follow up with, you know, because they'll fall through the cracks.
Yeah, and a lot of agents put up a lot of barriers on that first call. You know, that first call is so important, you know, instead of drilling them about their pre-approvals and all that kind of stuff, you know, just go meet them. I mean, you take 30 minutes of your time, but, you know, they may not ever be able to buy, but who knows who they know.
Right. And, you know, Joseph earmuffs, but, you know, it's so awkward to get somebody to sign a buyer agency on the trunk of your car. They don't even know you, you know, they don't want to take that step with you yet. Just open the door. They just want to see the house, you know, be honest with them. All that stuff can come later once they trust you and they understand, you know, what your role is in the transaction. So, you know, people don't want to open up to you. So Jeremy's right. You know, those, are you working with an agent? Are you pre-qualified? We stopped doing that a long time ago. The industry has changed. There's too many other places for people to go. And websites like Zillow, to their credit, you know, we make fun of them, that stupid Zestimate and all the dumb stuff that they do, but they've built the path of least resistance. They really have. You know, good example, we had a lead come in a couple weeks ago, and the lady wanted some information on the house. She wanted to see the house. Through the conversation, it turns out her boyfriend is an agent. And it was easier to go on Zillow than wake him up and ask him to look it up on his MLS, you know, so you know, they built a pretty good mousetrap. So, yep. Right. The consumer's behavior is changing, you know, that they don't.
I think it's a testament to Zillow, whether we like them or not. Like,
Right.
they listen to what consumers want, and they're delivering.
Yep, they absolutely are. So I think if I was an agent in this room just starting out, you know, I would 100%, you know, try to buy some Zillow leads and figuring out how to get there. It's expensive. It's not cheap.
Yeah, I'd buy Realtor.com. They convert less, but the cost is way cheaper than Zillow.
And track it.
Yeah.
Track
Right. When we were,
And the revenue.
yeah, right. Yeah. When we stopped spending money with Zillow and partnered up with them, we were spending about $35,000 a month And that was for about 45 leads from Zillow a month. You know, they get expensive, you know, especially if you're buying Mount Pleasant leads, they're $700-800 a lead. So you can imagine, you know, when we see an agent that takes a lead and then they take 15 minutes to call the agent, how much we freak out over that kind of stuff. I mean, so Realtor.com is much less expensive. They convert less. I think last year with Zillow, we converted at 15% for the entire year. And then Realtor.com was like 6%, but it was a lot less cheaper, or a lot cheaper lead.
It's awesome. So the last question that I have is, what's the future look like for Chucktown Homes, and what are you most excited about?
Yeah, so good question. The future for us is to continue to grow where we're at. We are down a couple of agents. One of the side benefits of joining here is now we're part of this ecosystem with all these agents here. And we're no longer competing against you guys. We're kind of on the same family. So, you know, there's a lot of talent here that we can take advantage of. So that was one of our goals. But really the main value we saw was the expansion team model, which I think is incredible. Whoever came up with that, they really put their ego on a shelf and said, you know, what do these big teams really need? And that's incredible. We traveled up to Greenville and Columbia and talked to some people. So I think that's the future of us, is getting some expansion teams going. And just super excited about that. There's a lot of talent within the KW system. We met some OPs and some team leaders that were just super sharp.
For those that don't understand or know what expansion is taking the hub and the systems and the lead gen systems that they have here and duplicating them in other areas of the United States, right? And without borders, right? Which is really, really exciting because they'll support all of that here based on the hub and the systems that they've created. So
yeah, I went 6 months ago to Columbia to try to open up a team there. And, you know, I'm meeting with a beach company to do build outs. I joined the MLS. I'm trying to learn the neighborhoods. I don't know Columbia, you know, it's just a lot of walls there, you know, copy your lease, you know, just everything you can imagine, opening up a brokerage up there. And it was a nightmare. And within the expansion team model, I don't have to do any of that. I don't have to join the MLS. I don't have to know the neighborhoods in Columbia. You know, I can just do what I'm good at, and somebody up there provides that value and can run that team. So it's pretty intelligent. Yep.
Love it. Any last questions for these amazing guys before we wrap up?
What are your goals in expansion? What do you?
Yeah, good question. I'm not exactly sure. This was a big, scary step for us joining KW because, as I said, 2 years ago, we wouldn't have done this. So we're kind of rushing, maybe that's not the right word, but we're eager to get 2 open right now so we can prove to ourselves that the value is there. This works, and this is something that's really a thing. You know, we just heard about it from people.
And we've always grown as we can. We've never had the mindset that we'll bring agents on the team and, you know, they can go find their own business and, you know, help us grow. We won't bring an agent on unless we have the business for them. So, you know, as far as setting goals, it's going to depend on our lead flow in those areas. And as we have too many leads, before we have too many leads, you know, if you wait too long, then it's going to be problems. You know, their agents are too busy, get frustrated. So as the leads dictate, we'll grow. You know, we would expect that, you know, maybe 5 years from now, have 10, 15, 15 offices.
We're less tied to the end result and more tied to kind of how do we get there and what's it going to take you.
We would love to invite you guys to the KYP event where we have the director of place that's going to be talking.
Oh yeah,
They saw her.
She's sharp. She's smart than all of us.
allowed to
Put
do
together.
that.
You are.
Is that young people?
Is that young people?
I do have a very useful experience. I do. He was inviting me, not you.
You can go get them a shirt out of my.
Definitely good on a shirt. Well, this is awesome. We're excited to have you guys. They've been dialing into things like the top 20% mastermind. And dial into things, get into some of the classes because these guys are popping in everywhere. So we appreciate you. And it's good, man. Welcome. We appreciate you. Sorry, we're 10 minutes over. We had so much awesome content, so we want to keep going. If you need anything, as always, call me, call the leadership team. We're humbled to be in business with each and every one of you. To the top, we go together.